welcome back to Gluten-Free Runner. I'm Kaylee and I'm gluten-free, and today I wanted a soft pretzel, so I made gluten-free soft pretzels. These are the fluffiest, moistest, best gluten-free soft pretzels out there, I guarantee you. They're just like the Auntie Anne's ones from what I've heard from my non-gluten-free family. They taste amazing, and I have the best gluten-free cheese dip recipe to go with it. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients you'll need. Pause and take a screenshot so you can follow along too. They're also in the description below. And yes, that is 1/2 cup of baking soda. I know, it's a lot. First, you're going to need active dry yeast. You need 1 packet of this, or 2 1/4 teaspoons. You need the yeast for this recipe to work. Then you're going to get 1.5 cups of warm water, not too hot and not cold. That way we can activate the yeast without killing it. You're going to start by mixing together the warm water and the yeast in a large bowl. And then you're going to let it stand for about a minute so that the yeast will work. After you've given the yeast about a minute to sit, you're going to add in your brown sugar and melted butter and stir that up. Add in a little pinch of salt too. Now we're going to gradually add 3 cups of gluten-free flour. I like to use the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour, but you can use any gluten-free flour as long as you make sure it has the proper amounts of xanthan gum. That makes sure your pretzels aren't too gummy and aren't too crumbly. Read the description below for more information on this if you'd like. Gradually add in 3 cups of flour, and then when you get to the end, you're going to knead in the remaining 3/4 cup of flour. Knead for about 5 minutes or until the dough becomes bouncy. You're getting a real arm workout in with this one, folks, but it's all worth it. You can also use a wooden spoon to mix in the flour too. Now, like I said, after about 5 minutes, it'll be bouncy. You see how when I poke my finger in it, it bounces up? That means it's good. We're going to cover it with a paper towel or a washcloth or a cheesecloth and let it sit for 10 minutes. While it's sitting and rising, we're going to boil 9 cups of water and 1/2 cup of baking soda. So just bring it to a boil and let that dough rise. Now you're going to prepare 2 baking pans. Instead of spraying them with Pam or butter or anything, you're going to line them with parchment paper. This is incredibly important. After 10 minutes, your dough should look like this. Grab a fistful, no proper measurements here, a fistful of dough, like so, and roll it out into a long log. Make sure it's nice and long so that you have plenty of room to fold. This does get a little bit tricky, but you got it. Keep playing around with the dough. It's actually quite fun. Once you've got your dough rolled into a log, you're going to fold it into a U shape like so, and then tie it together at the top, make a little twisty like that, and fold it right down to make that pretzel shape. Like so. Play with it, mold it how you want it, and there you go, you got a cute little gluten-free pretzel. Repeat that with all your dough. You can even make some little pretzel bites if you want to. This is a really great recipe and can be adapted in so many ways. Remember that boiling water and baking soda? You're going to drop your pretzels in there for about 20 to 30 seconds. No more or no less. Just 20 to 30 seconds. This just makes sure that they get kind of nice and airy, if you will. Then immediately take some tongs and place them on your parchment paper lined pan. Now you're going to take an egg wash. If you don't know how to make an egg wash, I just cracked 2 eggs and scrambled them up and brush it on your pretzels. This egg wash just makes them a little extra crispy and it helps the salt stick. Once your egg wash is on, go ahead and sprinkle as much salt as you want on your pretzels. And we're going to pop them in the oven at 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. Or until golden brown. Make sure to rotate them partially through so that they don't burn. Now we're going to make the homemade gluten-free cheese dip. Here are the ingredients. Take a screenshot so you can follow along. Start by melting your butter in a saucepan and mix it with the cornstarch. It'll get kind of thick and it might stick to the bottom of the saucepan, but it's okay because it'll all come together and work out in the end. Add in a cup of milk and stir it well. Next, you're going to start with only 4 ounces of Velveeta cheese. You will need 8 for this whole recipe, but we add it gradually. Plop that 4-ounce block of Velveeta cheese right in there. It'll melt. I know it looks thin right now, but as the cheese melts, it gets better. And season it. Break up the cheese. Stir it a little bit as you go. Just simmer it on low to medium heat until it thickens. Now gradually rip up little pieces of the remaining 4 ounces of Velveeta cheese and gradually add it in until it gets thickened to your desired consistency. You can make it thinner or thicker depending on what you want. After 12 to 15 minutes in the oven, after my cheese dip is made, my pretzels are ready. Oh my gosh, they turned out so good. Look how moist and fluffy this is. I'm telling you, this is way better than any non-gluten-free pretzel. And look how big they are. This is such a great recipe. I hope you guys like it and enjoy it. If you do, comment below and let me know how you like it. Remember to like and subscribe for more gluten-free goodness. I have tons of recipes coming up and you don't want to miss them.